IPL Radio, inspiring passionate lives for the community. Hey, and we're back. Front, left, right, up, down, side to side, and inside out this time. And we have our special guests. Today we have the guests from DidierWalks. How's it going, guys?
Going great. Thanks, Decker.
No worries. So, you must have walked a mile to get here.
I actually do love walking. I've become addicted to it. But no. We both live near Freo now, so so we drove here.
Yeah, it's a long walk from Freo.
I was going to say it'll be a nice walk. So, what do you guys do anyway? What is DidierWalks?
DidierWalks is a business, a hiking, consulting and mentoring business, which I started back in 2017. It all came back from an experience that I had, I suppose, when I was dealing with my own mental health back in 2015. What basically happened was I went through a divorce after 21 years, and I was burnt out. I was a mentor and assessor for mental health and disability services for 7 years. And I needed something drastic to change because I was burnt out. So I started hiking, and then probably about a few months after I started hiking again, I made a decision to hike the Bibbulmun track by myself. And if people don't know, the Bibbulmun track starts in Kalamunda and finishes in Albany, and it's 1,000 kilometres.
Wow, you walked that?
Yeah. So I walked that, and I was about 2/3 of the way down when I started to imagine. I had a look at the physical, mental, and the emotional benefits that I gained from, at that point, say, walking about 700 kilometres. I was 48 years old and I'd never felt fitter mentally, physically, and emotionally in my whole life. And I started to think about all of the clients that I had worked with over the years, and I was thinking, wow, imagine if I could bring them out and to do something like this.
Yeah.
And that's where the idea started.
Wow. So have you got a lot of people joining you now, have you?
Yes. It's kind of funny because when DidierWalks first started, I had some ideas in mind, and it's the first business that I've ever owned, and sometimes when you first start a business, it seems to have a bit of a direction of its own. And I work a lot from, just instinct, I guess, and people who just come into my life. And sometimes, there's a saying that I really like that, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Ah, right, yeah.
And and that's when the Duke of Edinburgh Award came along, which is a youth program, an international youth program. Which I got involved with, and that's probably the main part of my business at the moment. Sometimes it's a challenge to get people to, I suppose, still talk about their mental health, and they're afraid to come on hiking openly and transparently about that. So, but my name and DidierWalks and the mental health side of the hiking I suppose now it's a bit more into the community. So what I have found is that people book and come on the hikes. Sometimes they're quite open about it, about their mental health. But sometimes what happens is, for instance, I've had a few guys who are FIFO workers, and it'll be halfway through the hike when we're sitting around the fire and they just come out, and tell you, look, Didier, I want to talk to you about this. I didn't want to talk to you about it before.
Yeah.
But, I'm 34, I'm an engineer, but I've been suffering from depression for the last, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we start, working with that. So...
You say around the campfire, are these all multiple day hikes?
Yeah, I do mostly multi-day hikes.
Yeah.
I suppose people tend to ask me to take them for a multi-day hike because they want to really take themselves out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And look, whether you're walking a couple of days or 5 days or 68 days like I did, when you're carrying a backpack of 15 kilos and you're climbing up, the side of a hill and you're hiking 20 kilometres, it takes you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
I can imagine some of the military training is like that.
Yes. Yeah, and our teenagers, most of them have never done anything like it, so it's very interesting to watch them open up and blossom a bit.
Awesome. No, cool stuff. Yeah. I tried a day of the Biddleman track, like you said you were doing with the whole... I did the backpack with the camping gear in it and 3 days worth of food.
Yeah.
But we got lost on day one. And by the time we finally found the road with street signs on it, my old Mrs. The woman I was with at the time is saying to me, do you want to keep going? I'm like, no, we just got lost. I want to go home where it's safe.
Yeah, but see, getting lost is part of the adventure, and I suppose when we're taking a group of teenagers hiking, we all give them the opportunity to lead the group, and we're very upfront with them, and we tell them, look, when you're leading the group, you're fully responsible, and if you lead us off the trail, then you lead us off the trail, and then together we will work it out, but I never use the word lost anymore.
Yeah.
We're never lost, we're just off trail, which is pretty much like life, You're just stepping off the track and it's exactly the same, and it just comes with confidence.
Yeah.
So, so if you went on another hike, say
these days
it would be, you would have a slightly different experience to it, because you've experienced that before. Our aim is to, it's probably not good business sense, but if somebody has to come back to me, say 3 times to learn how to hike, I haven't done my job. My job is to inspire and educate somebody to be able to solo hike, and then do it themselves, because I want them to be strong and independent by themselves without having us to do it with them all the time.
Yeah. I love the idea of giving the teenagers consequence-free leadership roles to build that confidence up as well. That's right.
Awesome. That's right. Yeah.
I would say the fear of getting lost is often more the worst part of it, and once they lead and realize that they can do it, and they do get us off track, they do. And once they get through it, they realize, it was all in my head.
Yeah. Oh, wicked.
So what are the sort of ages they go from? Are they like 10-year-olds to 90-year-olds?
So I do quite a bit of work with Aquinas College. I take 10-year-old boys.
Oh, wow.
Been doing that for just over 2 years. So we take them on day hikes. They're on another separate program, which is for that age group.
Yeah.
So I work closely with the teacher there. So we take them on day hikes. So earlier this year in March, we took them for their first overnight hike, 10-year-old boys.
Wow, that'll be exciting.
They were excited.
That's one way to put it.
It was exhausting. We enjoyed it. We really love what we do. But it was a little bit exhausting. So that age group. And then the teenagers that we tend to take tend to be aged between about 14 and 18.
Oh, yeah.
And even though there's an age difference between a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old, when you're out there hiking, it really doesn't make any difference because everyone's the same. Mm-hmm. So whether you're 14 or whether you're 18, you're carrying the same baggage. You're covering the same amount of kilometres. And adults, I've taken adults from 18 years old to somebody in their 60s.
Wow, that's good. So it's a massive age range, which is cool. So how do people get into this? Like, where do they go? What do you do? Do you just approach the people at schools, do you? Or
Well, the Duke of Edinburgh Award is there's an organisation in Western Australia which manages the Duke of Edinburgh Award. They're called Awards WA, but at a ground level, it's run through over 150 high schools in the state, so it's very large. So the way that I get students for the Duke of Edinburgh Award is I either get recommended by Duke of Ed themselves, or I work directly with schools. Otherwise, very occasionally, families find me on Facebook or Google and make contact that way.
yeah,
We've got a website, which is DidierWalks.com.au.
It's spelt DIDIER.
That's right. And if anyone's curious, Didier's French. I was born in Switzerland, in the French region of Switzerland, and so that's where the name came from. I wanted to make a statement about what I do, and so that's why I called it that.
that's cool. Yeah,
And as soon as people know my name, they don't forget it.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, good stuff. I do love a good hike. I haven't been like back in Perth hiking here much because I don't have any friends who like hiking. They're all video game mates.
Now you do.
Yeah, I've got to come down and get involved with you guys. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. And one more part, I suppose, what I wanted to talk about regarding the mental health, and one of the things that has, I suppose, frustrated me about Didier Walks is that because it's a business, and Julie and I need to get paid, and we've got insurance to pay and things like that. That sometimes I want to try and make hiking affordable or available for anyone.
Yeah.
So last year, during COVID, when I wasn't able to take anyone hiking, I went back onto the NEASE program, which is a business program, a federal government business program, and I started Helpfulness Australia. Helpfulness Australia is, I suppose you could say, a branch of Didier Walks, and Helpfulness Australia is a non-for-profit organisation. We became an incorporated association in May, and that is solely with the goal to run mental health programs that incorporate hiking.
Oh,
So it's all about taking people with mental illness hiking, either individually or as a group, and it's very tailored. So at the moment we're still I suppose moulding the model and so on, so the work that we've done with Willetton Senior High School, we're moulding the youth program that we want to build for Helpfulness Australia around that. So as we're a non-for-profit, as you guys can totally relate to this,
Yep.
that's if anyone wants to sponsor or support us or be involved in any way,
And the details for how to do that would be on your website?
Yes. Helpfulness Australia doesn't have its own website yet, so you can just go onto the Didier Walks website or contact me directly, we can
Contact you directly on
0410 756 065, or otherwise the email is hike@didierwalks.com.au.
hike@didierwalks.com.au.
Yep.
And all the information is on the Didier Walks website, and Helpfulness is under the projects section.
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I'm really hoping that Helpfulness Australia and Inspire can maybe do something together.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
It'd actually be a great team bonding exercise for any company, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it sure
You know,
would be.
Get all the presenters together and go for a hike somewhere, or like say with other companies. Say, my wife actually works for Clean Heat. Now she could have some different sections of her work, say a team bonding exercise one Saturday, Sunday, or something like that. And partners and the actual workers go out and everybody hikes. That'd be cool.
I think that would be really great. I've been trying to get my cohort from my master's program to go out there as well, and it's hard to get everybody together, but yeah, for a business, that would be an excellent bonding.
Yeah, exactly. Because they do other things like, what was those lock-in rooms or something where you do a puzzle and stuff.
Yeah.
So why not hike? Nature's the best way. It makes
Yeah.
you feel good, and you get together with a whole group of people.
There are hikes within an hour from Perth that people don't know about. There are spots like Mount Cuthbert, for instance, on the Bibbulmun track, which is just incredible. I've had adults just burst into tears because they've never hiked before, and we get to the top of Mount Cuthbert and they're looking in the northeasterly kind of direction, and they can see 100 kilometres of forest from the top of Mount Cuthbert. It's just spectacular, and what's so beautiful about it is that you can't drive up there; you have to hike.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's amazing.
But it's also not a terribly difficult hike if, people that may not have the most mobility, you can still make it up there. It might take you a little bit longer, but yeah, it's definitely accessible still.
Yeah. I suppose because of the majority of the people that we work with, so like Julie was saying that, 90% of the teenagers we take on even a 5-day hike have never hiked before.
Yeah.
So, and some of the adults that we take have maybe done a small amount of hiking, but not much. So, our program is very much geared around people who haven't hiked before.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yes, there's no rush, and there's a lot of support, and
Yeah.
yeah.
And it really can be like a life-changing experience. I had that experience in Norway. We did the Trolltunga. It was 7 hours each direction, but it was so amazing. We had to get up before dawn, so we got the sunrise whilst we're through the mountains, and you don't think about the world the same way when you get to see it from these crazy perspectives.
And it's not until you do it that you realise how amazing it is. And the DidierWalks saying is that the benefits of hiking are so extraordinary that the scenery is just a bonus, and that's exactly what it's like. One of the beautiful things about the Duke of Ed program is that they need to write a report after the hike, and the report comes to me, and I really encourage them not to just give me the statistics about the hike, but how they felt mentally and emotionally about the hike. And some of them really open up to me, and they tell me that, on the first day, I hate hiking. God, I hate Didier. What is he doing to me? I'm in so much pain, and then occasionally, say it's a 5-day hike. I've had an occasion where we've had a teenage girl who specifically came for her mental health, and on day 2 she was in tears. She was crying. By day 4, she stopped me, and she was funny because she actually apologised to me for crying on day 2, and we've all cried on the trail before, and she told me that it was the best thing she's ever done in her life, and we're starting to see this more and more after we take more and more teenagers, even the hardest teenagers who on day 1 who had the same message, that on their report they're saying that it was the most incredible thing that they've ever done in their life.
It reminds me of this TV show that ran
thinking
for a
about
year,
that,
where they sent the delinquent teens out into the bushlands to
Brat
learn
camp.
from Brat Camp.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sometimes feels like that.
But just being out in the open and in the environment's really great for your mental health. So if you feel like, I'd love to go hiking, but I don't really want to open up to anyone, I don't think that's a requirement of it.
No, it definitely is not.
No.
There are teens that don't say a word to me the entire time, and you can see it on their face that they're going through their own journey, but they don't have to share it with us. That's fine.
Yeah, because you got nothing but hours to think and walk.
Yeah. I like to hike in quiet personally, so it's fine with me. Or if you want to chat for hours, that's good too.
Yeah. So when we're taking a group, yes, it's a group activity, but it's also a very individual activity. So we keep our numbers always small. So generally on our teen hikes, we don't take any more than 12, and over a few days, that gives us the time to be able to spend some quality time with each individual.
Oh, that's good.
And each individual has their own goals, and their own needs. So we cater for that. So we don't, I suppose, make any assumptions about, you want to go through this and you want to go through that.
Yeah.
We always say hike your own hike.
That's the saying.
Why not? Exactly it. So do you always have an equal number of people? Say, for instance, 5 guys, 5 girls, or it's just whoever gets there first and stuff like that?
No. Just a little while ago, we had a 5-day hike, and there was a guy all by himself. But that was his second hike with us. So he was a lot more confident. But sometimes teenagers say to us, look, I don't want to come because I don't have friends on there. It makes no difference at all. And I don't know if that's just because that's what happens when we're hiking, or if I don't know if it's because that's the way Julie and I do it. But we treat everybody individually, but exactly the same, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, I treat them exactly the same way I treat Julie and I treat anyone else. So it makes no difference. It makes no difference whether somebody has hiked with me before or they haven't. It doesn't matter what their age is. It doesn't matter why they're there. In the end, when you keep it really, really simple and focused, we're all hiking, we're all, by day 3, we all stink, The joke is that, when I get questioned about COVID, I said, look, after 3 days with us, COVID hasn't got a chance.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else at the minute.
No, yeah.
It just sounds brilliant.
Yeah, and I relate so much to your story, because I went through something similar. I did 7 years of mechanics and then went through a divorce and was like, I need a real change in my life, and gave up mechanics, and I've been painting since.
That's the whole point, isn't it? Is finding your, your
outlet.
thing.
Yeah, even Didier found me when I was in a place that I needed him as well, and now I work for him. And because I moved to Western Australia, had no idea, I knew why I was here to get my degree, but I missed my mountains in Colorado, and I was really having a hard time. And since we've been hiking together, I've really been able to manage my mental health better and just been happier in general.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you said Colorado. I thought, dang, I thought it was an Irish accent.
It's the red hair. People think I... No.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for coming in, guys. And we can have another chat after we put on some music if you had a song request. And we can...
Yeah. What is your song request?
Did you find the one that I asked you before?
I did.
You want to play that?
Yeah, I was going to get you to introduce it.
Oh, okay.
What I usually do is say, have you got a song request? You go, have you got such and such song?
Okay.
I do too.
All right, sorry,
take two.
I'll catch on.
All right.
I'll catch on.
Have you got a song request for us?
I do, thank you, dear.
Ooh, what's that?
I've picked Rome by the B-52s. Yes, it's an old song. It's like the 80s or the early 90s or something like that.
So old.
But I just love the whole message behind it. And it really explains what our hiking is all about.
Right, yeah.
And there's basically a line in the song which basically says, roam if you want to, without anything but the love that you feel. And that's exactly, what our hikes are about. So that's why I've picked this song.
Sounds good already.
Awesome.
Alrighty, enjoy the B-52s with Rome. Now, I think we've pretty much covered all the questions and stuff, haven't we? So,
well, we do want to plug the AFL final weekend event that you guys had planned.
Yeah. So the as everybody knows, the AFL Grand Final is going to be in Perth, which is a long weekend. the WA Tourism WA, the state government, they've decided to create a big promotion to get, I suppose, local business booming, especially in the tourism industry. So they only started this yesterday. So what I suggest you do is, if you're interested in what I'm saying, contact me a little bit later and I can give you some more accurate information. But basically what they're saying is that any commercial operator like myself, like DidierWalks, anything that we offer over those 3 days, which is the 25th, 26th and the 27th of September, you can experience a hike, for instance, for 50% off. So the government will pay the other 50%.
And you're climbing a mountain. What was the name of the mountain you guys?
Mount Cuthbert.
Mount Cuthbert.
Yeah. So this will be a 2-day hike for teenagers, generally aged between 14 and 18 years old. And look, if it's something that you would really like to do, and the thought of it just scares the heck out of you, all right, before saying no to yourself, just give us a call, all right? We take a lot of teenagers who have never hiked before. As long as you're in reasonably good health, you know, we will get you through it.
And we're itching to get back on the track, so we'd love to have you with us.
Yes, if Julie and I don't hike for a few weeks, we kind of get nervous.
Gotta get out there.
Awesome, good stuff.
All right, so what was your contact details again?
Okay, so my mobile is 0410 756 065. My website is DidierWalks, so DIDIER and then walks.com.au. And my email address is hike@didierwalks.com.au. And if it's to do with mental health or Helpfulness Australia, just the same contact details for the moment.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Hopefully people will get in touch with you and get some walking done.
Yeah, go Rocco.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for coming in, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
That
you.
was awesome.
Anytime.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Alrighty, we will put on the Presidents of the United States of America, I think now.
Peaches?
I would like to put Peaches on, but I couldn't find that one, so I have to put one called Lump.
Okay, lump works.
That's probably my theme song. Oh, enjoy.